Hello, everyone. It is 2 o'clock on September 9th, and we are now in the afternoon class. Today, we're going to be talking about marketing. Specifically, we're going to be talking about marketing with designs and campaigns. So, we're going to be covering a lot of ground here today. We're going to be covering a whole bunch of things ranging from designs and campaigns in marketing. It's actually a pretty big topic. We're not going to be able to cover every possible thing, so we're going to kind of follow a path through this. And the main goal here, of course, is for us to be comfortable with getting into using the tools that we have. Now, we can use a lot of different things to create designs and graphics within any program. We can use Photoshop, we can use Canva, we can use anything, really. I mean, I'm just naming a couple of the ones that are top of mind here. But did you know that Command has its own built-in graphic designer with tons and tons and tons of templates that you can use to create your own designs or base your designs off of? And so that's what we're going to talk about here today. So the first thing we're going to quickly do is I'm going to show you this here. We're going to be creating a design in Command, and then we're going to be using that design to create a campaign. Now, because we're not going to be doing any Facebook ads here. We're talking about a campaign that can be an ad, it can be a social media campaign, it can be an email campaign. I'm going to be bouncing around between a few different things, but we're going to be using our design as our kind of primary anchor as we go through this. So, of course, we're going to take a look now. Let me see if I can get this little guy to pop up and show the right screen. A survey said, blah, blah, blah. Of course, it shows all my screens. Which, by the way, that's what's going on all my different screens here. Here you are. This is the Command interface, and I'm going to go ahead and make this so that you guys can see all of that. There we go. I'll come back to the home screen in Command, as we always do. We always start off with the home screen. And to do this, we do have to kind of set some things up a little bit in advance. And what I really mean isn't so much setting things up in Command, although we are going to do some things inside of Command. What we're talking about is the mission, the goal. And when you start working with designs and start working with campaigns and media and stuff, it can be really easy to just kind of dive in without a plan. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to dive in without a plan, especially for something like this, because as you go through, if you don't have a solid idea of where you're going, you have a tendency to kind of just get lost and meander, and it can get a little frustrating. So you got to set up a plan. And so today we're going to be using a very simple plan. We're going to be essentially brand marketing for our app, for our consumer app, the app that people can download on their mobile devices and then they can use to search for homes. So this is just one example. There's an endless number of examples that we can do to kind of set the ball rolling for what we want to achieve. But with that end goal in mind, let's start off by saying to ourselves, okay, what do we need first to be able to do this? Well, we know that we're going to be doing a campaign. Let's say for a moment that we've decided we're going to do a social media campaign, and that's what we're actually going to do right now. So we want to post to our Facebook page, not an ad, but we want to post to our Facebook page a design telling people to download our app. We want people to go get our app, all right? So with that as our marketing plan, let's start by, I'm going to go ahead and click over here on the KW in the upper right-hand, left-hand. Wow, everything was wrong with that. Upper left-hand corner, and we're going to see the KW little red button up here. That's going to show us the names of all the different apps that are available to us. So we know that we need to create a design before we actually run the campaign. So we're going to click on Designs. Now, when you come into the Designs area, you may not see all of these templates that I have here. These are my designs that I've created and that I've kind of like put into the system. This is because of me experimenting and playing with things and doing actual campaigns. So when you look at this, this might be empty. And that's okay, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a design. So on this designs page, by the way, just to get there, kind of recap, we went from the designs area right to the designs dashboard right here. Now, in this area, again, if you don't have anything, don't worry. You're going to come up here to the top right-hand corner, and you're going to click on Create Design. Now, we already knew from this little plan of action of ours that we were going to create a social post for our Facebook page, our Facebook business page, that is going to be promoting our app. Very, very easy. So we're going to click on social here because that is the destination or the channel that we're going to use to put this post out there. Now, with that selected, we're going to go ahead and click continue. Now, you'll notice that the screen changes around here, and you might even notice that the address in the address bar at the very top of your browser changes. It's now taking us to a program called WeBrand, which is embedded into the Keller Williams command interface. So we got here directly from command. So how did we get here? We created a new design, and in this case, I clicked social, and it took us to this WeBrand template interface. So what do we have here? Well, in this interface here, for the WeBrand, we have templates, my designs, and assets. We can also search for templates, and then we can get out of this and go back to command if we want. When we're in this area, well, you can see that the first thing that does is it loads up a bunch of templates based on categories here. The KW app happens to be one of those categories. Listings, so if we wanted to create a listing design for our social media post, we could do that. For sale, just sold, local expert, a whole bunch of different types of listing ones. We have buyer, lead generation, business basic, leadership, professional. This one here has got all the different, let me click on this here. This is the professional series, black and pewter and signature and all these different things. Looking really nice. And then down at the bottom, I'm actually going to kind of go down here for a second because I want you to see that there's an area down here called collections. And this is really nice because if we were trying to do something that was based on some of the holidays that are coming up, we can go down here to collections and look in the new designs and see some of the holiday things that are coming up here. And we can pick on one of these holiday designs and use that as our basis for our design for our anything. But we're not doing a holiday post right now. We said we were going to do a KW app. So I'm going to come all the way back up to the top here to the KW app section and click on my app. And it's going to show me all of the different social square style posts, 1080 by 1080, that I can use. Now, remember, this is a launching point. There are a bunch of these in here. If you don't like any of these, you are more than welcome to make your own. But for our purposes here, we want to keep it nice and simple, and we want to basically use the information that we have here and create a simple post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this white one here, and I'm going to do that because it's clean, it's simple, it's not cluttered, and it'll allow me to show you some of the things that we need to kind of work with to make this design come to life. Okay, so I'm going to click on this little Your Home tour here and click on Use. Notice that it opens up in a new window. This is the design editor from WeBrand. And you can see here it says editor.webrand. We're still in KW command, but we've kind of gone off to the left a little bit and we're using an embedded app here. Now, one of the things we need to really, really be very, very clear on is the information that's displayed here. What we want to do is make sure that this information is relevant to us as the agent, and it is not kind of the template boilerplate text that is used as placeholders. So what are we talking about here? I'm going to zoom in on this thing and I'm going to scroll down, and I want you to notice in the bottom right hand corner of this design there's a logo, and it says KW DBA name. On almost all of the designs that you see in command with the designer here, they're going to come with this template placeholder for where they suggest that you put your DBA. Keller Williams Coastal Lakes and Mountains, Keller Williams Coastal, Keller Williams Lakes and Mountains, whatever that is. We want to pay attention to that because we're not going to use the template image. We're going to use ours. Ours? Where is our, in this case, our DBA, our logos for our designs? Where do we find those? So let me show you something here. I'm going to click on a new tab, and I'm going to go back into command, but I'm going to go back to the front page here. So I'm going to leave my editing window open, and on a new tab, I'm going to go into command. One of the most effective ways to make sure that your branding is intact and saying what you need it to say is to make sure that your marketing profile is up to date with the latest information. So where is our marketing profile? So if we go up to our profile from the home page here and we click on settings, in the settings area under connect settings on the left hand side is our marketing profile. Now, if you have not completed your marketing profile, you absolutely need to do this. As a matter of fact, oftentimes when you use the design area, it will kick you out and say that it can't save or create a design unless it finds the marketing profile information intact. Now, this has happened a few times with agents where they've called me up and said, Robert, I can't seem to make a design. It doesn't work. My first question is, now let's look at your marketing profile. Is that intact? Is that in good shape? Make sure that this is, in fact, fully formed, fully fleshed out. By the way, you see that little picture of me here? This is coming from, you guessed it, the marketing profile when we're in the designs area. So this is something that is populating and being kind of built out automatically for us. I stress that because you can watch one of my marketing profile or KW profile videos to show you how to set up all three of your profiles. But for now, just make sure that you have all of your marketing profile information filled out, because you're gonna get stuck here if it's not right. Now the other thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave this screen again, I'm gonna go back to command here. The other thing I want to show you is, and this is something that is just going to touch on, I'm not going to go deep into this right now, but I'm just going to touch on this. When you are creating any kind of designs, you're going to want to include your brand, the colors that you use for your brand. I'm not talking about the KW logos. I'm not talking about the legal things that we have to have. What I'm talking about is your brand. You can create a branded folder with all of your what we call assets, all of your images, all of your text, all of the things that you will use to promote your brand. And you can store them in command so that you can use them in the designs area. To do this, all we need to do is get to where we can put all that stuff in. So you'll notice that I went to the designs area, and this is where we're going to start. In the designs area, if we click on the import design button, don't worry, we're not going to import anything. You don't have to worry about that. But as soon as you click on the import area, there's going to be a whole bunch of neat things here. But at the top across the menu, you see templates, my designs, and assets. And in the assets area, you can create branding to go along with what your particular company's branding is. You can create multiple color palettes to represent the colors for your brand. You can also pick fonts that will represent your brand. So you can pick multiple color palettes, multiple fonts. You can also add a bunch of images that represent your brand, whether they be headshot images, whether they just be random things like that. And I'm not talking about logos, because you'll notice that over here we have a logo section where we can add logos in. So these images, you can just bring them in, you can organize them into folders and have them available for any of the designs that you create. Let me pause here for a second. So remember, we're in the assets area and I'm looking at my little speed racer and a picture of me here. If I go back to the design editor, there's those same two images. That's where they're coming from. They're coming from the assets area of my design builder. So if I keep going here, text, I can put in under my job title, Market Center Technical Trainer, the phone number, the zip codes. I have all these text blocks that I can pre-build and use for my marketing tools. They're all coming in here, available for me, templatized, we call them building blocks, whatever you'd like. In the logos area, you'll notice that I have a folder that I've created with all of the Keller Williams Coastal Lakes and Mountains Realty logos. I've got some that are JPEG that are not transparent. You can't see through them. I've got some that are transparent. I've got a whole bunch of team things here. I've got a whole bunch of these things, and I can always add more. So I've pushed all my logos in here, and I just uploaded them using the upload dialog box here, and they brought them in very, very easily, and I can organize them. Having done all of this in advance allows me to go into my design tool and use these elements in my designs. Now, there are more things over on the left-hand side here, but the main ones are colors, images, texts, and logos. Very, very cool stuff. All right, so we know that our assets is where we're storing all of these cool things. Now we're going to go back over to my design editor. And in my design editor, I've blown it up pretty big so that we can actually see what's going on here. And I'm going to start by replacing the logo in the lower right-hand corner. And to do that, I'm going to select the logo, and I'm going to come over on the left-hand side and click on Logos. And in my assets, under KW Logos, I'll go ahead and open this folder up. I can now see all of the different logos that are exactly the same logos that I saw in my assets area inside my design editor. So which logo am I going to use? Now, without getting into being a design class and talking about colors and aesthetics and all that, I can tell you this. I got a white background for my image. The logo that's used as a placeholder is the red KW with some dark text. I'm probably not going to want to pick something here that has all white text. So that's not going to show up very good. However, if I come down here, I can see that there is a Keller Williams Coastal Lakes and Mountains that is a dark text here. That's what I want to put over here on the side. So I'm going to come back over here to my KW, and when I click on it, you can see that it automatically puts it into my imagery here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that and show you that again. So I clicked on this thing here, and I'll go over to my logos, and in the logos area, I can see there's that KW logo, and I can go ahead and click on that. Can I do that replace here? They messed that up. Oh, it's no longer there. Okay, fine. I'll just do it as I've got it here. I'm going to remove that logo from the screen, the other one here. I'm even going to remove the placeholder. And now I'm going to take my KW logo, kind of put the bottom right-hand corner where I want it, and then I'm going to use the resize. And I'm going to bring that down to just the right size. And what do you know? There is my logo in the lower right-hand corner, along with my legal statement of each office is independently owned and operated. Now, if I want to here, I can also put in maybe a picture of me, or I'll maybe put a picture of my little headshot here, and I'm going to act as if this is my little headshot. I'll go in here, and we're going to put my little headshot in here. Where'd he go? He doesn't like me. There. He doesn't like me. Here we go. That's what I want. So, your cool real estate agent, Mr. Speedy Gonzalez. All right. A speed racer for those being more technical and trying to be specific. All right, so here is my newly created design. Now, again, I could do 1,000 things here, but I don't want to spend time trying to be creative in front of you because you're going to be your own creative. Speak to your customers the way you think is best here. I'll go ahead and click on fit this to the page. So now you can see my little logo. I can put that anywhere I want. I'll put it over here because I want a little more space. There we go. Tour homes without leaving yours. Download my app. And there you go. Okay, so now that's pretty good, except for it doesn't look like it says who I am. So maybe I'm going to come over here to text, and in my assets, I'm going to say that we're going to put in Robert, and we're going to put in my name here, and we'll say Robert Vincent, and it's getting a little tight, but I'm going to go ahead and put it over here, Robert Vincent, and we're going to put in my designation, Market Center Technical Trainer, and I want to put that over underneath here and delete the second one that I didn't need. Okay, simple, keeping it easy, keeping it nice and mellow. Okay, so the design is done. I'm going to go up to the top here, and in the name area for this particular design, I'm going to select that name, and I'm going to say DL my app, and I'm going to say that it's going to be September. Maybe this promotion is I do once a month and I change it up. Okay. So now that I've done that, I'm going to say there's my name of my little design here. And again, not getting crazy, just keeping it nice and simple. DMI app for September, and I will click done. Done, you say. What is that all about? If I'm going to just leave this thing here, what do I do now? So it's going to generate a little thumbnail for my app here. I'll go ahead and refresh that and see if it comes in. It doesn't come in just yet. It will. It's now in my designs folder. Now that I've put it in my designs folder, I can use it in multiple places. So to use that newly created design in a campaign, I'm going to come back over to the campaigns area, and that is on the left hand side, the little icon with the bullhorn. And with that bullhorn selected, we knew when we started this that we were going to do a social post. So I'm going to click over here on social posts. And in the social post area, because that's what I had created, I'm going to decide when I want that social post to go out. Today is the 9th. Maybe I want it to go out tomorrow, or maybe I want to go out right now. So I can go over here and say, all right, for social posts, I'm going to click on the tomorrow's date because today's time has already passed, but I can still publish this today and right now. And I'm going to go to the center here where it says content, and I'm going to type in some stuff here that I want for the above the post picture for people to be able to click my link and get to my app. So in the dialog here, I'm going to put some information. So number one, I'm going to dictate some text here. Please feel free to download my app and search for homes in your area. I'm sure you'll find something fantastic and that you're going to love. After you found that, reach out to me and let's get to work on getting your new home. Period. Okay, so there's my text. That's going to appear in the social post. And I know that because it's actually showing up here on the right-hand side in my preview. Now I'm previewing it against Facebook right now. So that's what it's starting to look like. Now at this point in time, the graphic is not there. I have not added it. But I'm not quite done yet because I want to make sure that my app, my download my app link is in here as well. So I'm going to come back over here. I'll go to my previous page. I'm going to go into Command again, and I'm going to go get my link for my KW app. So I'm going to go over to my site and app settings, and I'm going to go to my URLs and copy my KW app link. Now that I've copied the KW app link, inside my post, I'm going to say, click here to download. And I'm going to paste in that link. And maybe even put some smiley faces in here because everybody loves an emoji. All right. So now the text part is done. The link is in there. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put that link on a new line so that people can see it more clearly standing out. And now in the image area, I can either use an image, a video, or a link. Well, I made a design, so I'm going to use that design in the image area. So it says Browse Design Library, and that's what's already selected. Or if I have my image, maybe I built it in Canva or Photoshop, or had someone else do it for me. I can upload that image using the upload. But for right now, we know that we created a design, so I'm going to come over here and Browse Design Library and check it out. It takes me right to my library, directly to the most recent graphics that I've made, and here is the Download My App September. And I'll click on that, and it will say, all right, we've got that. It's coming in, looking good. Give it a second here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. All right. It was not ready to do. Try after a few seconds. Oh, that's a very interesting thing. I just made it, so it should be ready to go. There we go. All right, we'll go with free and crop the image to nothing. So there is, on the right-hand side, my little post showing up. So far, that's what the preview looks like. All right. Now, over here, we have our DBA logo, which is optional. I don't need to add my DBA logo because I put it in the graphic, but I can add that if I wanted to. All right. So right now I'm going to say no, and you'll see that it actually takes it out of the image here. And I don't need to include my ownership statement either because my ownership statement is also on my graphic. If my graphics did not include those, I could add my DBA and I could add my ownership statement and put them in there. Okay, so the next thing says, when do you want to schedule this post? Well, I'm going to do it immediately. I want this thing to go out right now, and I want it to go out to my Facebook business page for Robert Vincent Real Estate. All right. This is the page it's going to. This is what it's going to look like. And are you ready for this? I've talked for a few minutes about all this, but pushing the post is simple and easy, and we're just going to publish the post. Do you want to publish it? Yes, I do. Now, take out all the garbage that I filled you all with talking about all these different things and philosophies and ideas and all that. That post is now done. And if I was doing this without all that extra stuff on my Facebook page, I could have posted something that quickly to get back over my business page here. Business page, Robert Vincent Real Estate. And guess what? Down here is my download my app. There's the download. And this is going to take me to the image, but this is going to take me to my download for my app. And there it is, Robert Vincent, download my app. Very, very simple, very effective, very easy, and just zero time. So if you're wondering how long it takes to do that, think about this. Grab a template. If you've already put your assets in there, you can put your assets on the images very quickly. Grab a template, make the design, save the design, go back and schedule the post or present or publish the post immediately. You can't go wrong. Gotta love it. That was about as easy as it gets. All right. So I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to come back into the campaigns area, and we're going to talk about some of the things that we can do inside of campaigns. We know how easy now it is to create a social post. We can use graphics from anywhere to do this. We can use them from graphics that are external that somebody built for us, or we can create them in designs ourselves. Either way. Now, let's talk about our different kinds of ads that we have here, or different kinds of campaigns. If I start at the dashboard, it's going to show me some stuff. I got my connected accounts. I've got my different neighborhood videos, some suggestions for new quick posts. Maybe I want to use one of these. Here's a nice little house here. Maybe I want to use that as a quick post. And I can quickly come in here. What makes Keller Mortgage a world-class experience, and a whole bunch of information about Keller Mortgage. And it also gives me the picture that it's off of that already added. It gives me the option to immediately add my ownership statement and my DBA, and they're on there and ready to go. Piece of cake. And I could post that literally in 10 seconds, and I'll post it immediately right now. Publish and post. There we go. And I'll go back to my Facebook page. I'll refresh that. I can literally use the pre-built posting tools, and I'll refresh it one more time to get it in there. I did say go, didn't I? I did. Come back. Come back. Come back. There we go. Robert Vincent Real Estate. What makes working with Keller Mortgage a world-class experience? All this cool stuff pre-built. I didn't have to do anything for this. And here is my DBA down in the lower left-hand corner. A nice picture. The whole thing with wanting me to boost the post. I'm going to say no on that. So very, very easy, very, very quick, very effective. Can't go wrong, huh? Okay. Come back to our campaign. That was just off the dashboard. That was just something I grabbed and ran with. Okay. Next one up here is paid ads. Now the paid ads are the ads that you can purchase on, depending on your channels, and there's a lot to choose from here. We got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Google AdWords. We're not going to get into the setup of those and the ideas behind how each one works and their audiences. We're just going to talk about how we can use our designs to quickly do these paid ads. So simply put, if I wanted to do a Facebook ad, I can come over here to create campaign, and I say I want to do a social ad paid. I'll click on that, and I have to give my ad a name. So this is going to be DL My App. And because this is a brand awareness campaign, I'm going to click on brand awareness, and I'm going to choose a single channel to run my brand, and I'll click create campaign. Now, if you've never done a Facebook ad before, you'll notice that what it does is it opens up here a campaign designer window. So the name and the goal has already been set, and the name is download my app. It's for brand awareness, and that part has been complete. each of these sections here needs to be completed before we actually post our ad. So we can configure each section independently, and I'll say, okay, in the text area, the text is what I'm going to do. I've got some text down here from just the help screens for campaigns. I'll just put some text in here. It shows the text on the right hand side. I can put a nice little heading here, and I'll choose, I'm literally copying and pasting from one of the screens that I have across the side here. And I'll put some text in the bottom section here. There we go. So I've got an ad that's already built here. The only thing missing is my design, my graphic. So I'm going to come down here to media, click on media, and it says, okay, so what is the media that we're going to use for our design? So I can click on select media, and I can choose from a listing. I can choose from images and my design library, and I can click on my design library and add my brand new that I just created, the download my app. So there we go. I'll bring that in. I'll say that that's what the image needs to look like and check it out. Okay. So I've got my text, I've got my ad, I've got my header, I've got everything I need. In Facebook settings, I just come down here and say that I want it to be posted through my real estate page, not on my real estate page, but through my real estate page. And I'll say that we're going to collect information about the leads from Facebook, and we're going to have that go to a new landing page. I'll say the landing page is going to be here. Again, just keeping things super, super duper simple. Okay. And rocaling within the site. Let's try that again. All right, doesn't want to take that one because it's a long URL. So let me go get a real URL. And I've got one for my little landing pages here. Let's say that we're going to copy that one and put a real landing page in here. There we go. Okay, now I'm not actually going to purchase this ad, but you can see that by using my design here, by putting that design together inside of a Facebook social ad, not a social ad, a paid ad, I can then put it all together and then run it based on my budget and publish the campaign. So we're not going to actually publish it, so I'll save it as a draft. All right. So the graphics that we're using in the design tool within Command have now been used in two places. We used them in a social post, then we used them in a Facebook ad. To continue the trend, we're going to come over here to an email campaign. And in our email campaign, we're going to create a new email campaign. So we'll say, all right, what is this going to be? It's going to be literally an email campaign. And it's going to be, again, for brand awareness. So I'm going to click on brand awareness. And this is also going to be DL My App September. Great. And we're going to be using command email, which means we're going to create a list in command. You do have the option for using MailChimp for your email lists, but I'm going to keep it simple using command email. And I will create that campaign. So now here we are in our campaign itself. I've given my campaign a name. I've got the account that I'm sending it from. Let me go ahead and make sure that's right. Yep, the KWCLM. Sending it to. Now I actually have in my little list here, I've got lists that I've created for email campaigns that are based on different purposes. But if you want to create a brand new list for your email, you can do that. You can say maybe it's going to be all MCTTs. Okay. And in this, I know that there's actually only one MCTT in my database, and that's me. So I'll select me as the sole member of this email list, but you can add as many as you want. I'll confirm that. Now I have my all MCTTs list. That is who's going to receive this email. Who it's being sent from is me. The subject is download my app and be able to search any home anywhere. Okay. Down in the dialogue or the body of the email is select design. All that stuff up top was just kind of information to give you an idea of what we can do there to get us here to the select design. If I click on select design, You got it. It's going to show me all of my different templates that I have here. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I've got KWRI templates that we can use. I can use all these things. But do you notice that the template that I had made for download my app is actually not in here? Because can anybody out there guess why you cannot see that template that we created, or that design that we had created a few moments ago? Why can't we see that? Anyone? I'll give you a second on that. And in the meantime, I'm going to go back into Command in a different window here. And I want to show you something that'll hopefully kind of stir it up and give you some hints. And it is because of this. In the designs area, when we created our design, and there's my design, by the way, this design was created as a social post. We created it as a social post. We did not create it as an email. We created it as a social post. A social post is just a singular image. It's not, it's not active text. It's just a singular image. If we wanted to create an email campaign, we would have needed to create an email design. So I'm going to go here and click on email design, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to create a new email template. So grab in my header, my footer, and maybe I'll put in an image right here in the middle. And oh my, look at this. I've got all these different images here. And I can put images in from many different places. I can upload images. I can bring images in from listings. I can add images. But one of the things I can't do, I can't get to that neat little image that I had created with the guy sitting at the lamp. It's not in here. Let's get around that. I'm going to come back once again into my designs area. And when we had created our initial design for this download my app in September, we had stored it in the social posts area. But we can also take this image and download it so that we can use it in any other campaign. So I'm going to hit the download button and save it as a transparent image so that I can use it with a transparent background, high quality, and I'm going to download that image to my desktop, or actually it's going to go to my download folder. So I'll come back over here while it's getting itself ready, and it says here add images. I'm going to browse that image, or I can drag that image directly from my upload screen and save it. How cool is this, you guys? I used a graphic from my design area that was originally designed for social media posts, but now I'm looking at it in an email that I can use to send out to my email list. Hold your applause. It's actually pretty easy stuff. Yes, there are a few things to keep in mind, but it's not too hard. It's really not that bad. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this preview here. Come back. I'm going to save my design, and I'm going to call this email DL my app September, and save and exit. There, my design has been saved. Come back to my campaign here. I'll refresh this guy. My email, brand awareness. Brand awareness. Got that, got that. Gonna send it to my little all MCTTs. The subject is going to be download my app and be cool like me. Select my design and check it out. My email for September, exactly the way I want it. Beautiful. Put it right in there. Preview it if I want. There it is. And I can go ahead and save and exit now. And now my cool little email template is ready to go. So ready to go. My list is done. Graphics are done. I can send it out right now. Check it out, make sure it looks good, make sure I'm happy, and hit send. off it goes into the wild blue yonder, and that's how easy it is. We used a design that was originally created for a social post. We downloaded it and saved it as an image on our desktop, which we reintroduced to an email design. And then we put that email design inside of a campaign. So I'm going to bring up, hopefully here, actually I'll do it right in the screen here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Gmail and show you. Just Gmail will be fine. And here is the download my app. Cool, handy, dandy, schmandy. I'm going to go ahead and open this up in its as big as I can here. There it is. Download my app with my information. Gotta love it. You absolutely have to love how easy this is. All right. So we did a couple of different things. The first thing we talked about was setting up your your brand marketing, your assets. Recap. To go back and take care of that, start at the home page here. I'm going to go ahead and close everything out of this. We're just back down to our home page. To work with your brand assets, your things that you're going to be using to promote yourself. Number one, make sure that your marketing profile is completely filled out. Number two, in the designs area, if you click on just the import design button, it'll take you to the design area or the design applet. And here on the top, templates, my designs, and assets. If you click on assets, this is where you can upload your color palettes, any images that you want to include, any text blocks that you can use later. And we used all of this stuff in our design. Logos that you might want to use. In this case here, I've got all the KW logos. There's also elements here where you can put in stickers and all kind of cool things. There's videos where you can add videos in here, and a file section for like things like PDFs or documents that you want to use in your marketing. Once we've done that, we can then go to the design area and we can create a design. And again, for whatever purposes, if we wanted to create a social, and we'll click continue. And in here is where we're just going to design the social ad by using the designs that we had created right here. I can go ahead and say, use this little guy. And so we don't even need to copy to workspace. That's new. Huh, nice. Some other tools there I wasn't even aware of. Gotta love it. Okay. So we'll go. We'll go back to here. Create design. We're gonna do social. Next. Actually, we already created the design, so we don't even need to do this again. I'm going, why are we doing to do that twice? Pick your design or create from scratch. Doesn't matter. Build your design according to the way that you want. Make sure you change any template down here. The DBA stuff, remember we talked about that. If I look down at the bottom again, we do not want that to be sitting in there. So we want to get rid of that. And we want to get rid of the statements and make sure we have our correct statements in here. We want all the good stuff in here. Save it or download it as needed. And then we can go back to our campaigns and put together our campaigns with our new designs. Okay. I don't see any questions popping up in the chat area, but keep in mind there's a lot more to think about. I didn't want to overwhelm you today with all these different things, but the main thing I want you to take away from this is in thinking about your marketing campaigns. Number one, what is the message? In my case, it was simple. Download my app. After you've determined the message, determine the audience. Are you going to do this to your database as an email campaign? Are you going to put this out there as a Facebook ad where you purchase Facebook ads to get this in front of people that you don't know? Or are you going to use this for a social campaign where you're going to post it to one of your Facebook business pages? How are you going to get this out here? The methodology, the channel. Once you have that information, you've built your design, you can put them together and send them off. And you see that it's actually fairly simple. To be honest with you, the most challenging part is ironing out your message and making sure it says what you want. Everything that I create in here is kind of like that quick little static thing. But if you're more intentional and more, I guess intentional is the right word I'm looking for, specific about what you're trying to say, the rest of it is actually going to be pretty easy. Now, having said all that, if you have any need to contact me and you want to go over this, please feel free to reach out, robert.vincent@kwclm. You can also book time on my calendar at timewithrobert.com. And when we do meet via Zoom, you can meet with me in my Zoom room at kwtechtv.com. This is streaming now on YouTube and Facebook. On YouTube, if you want to watch this after we've completed the live stream, you can go to kwtechtube.com and you can find this and many other videos there. And of course, you're watching right now probably on the Facebook page under the groups KWCLM. So that's going to do it for now. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. That's it for the trainings for the week, for the classes. Next week we're going to be coming at it again, and next week I'll go ahead and poke ahead and see what we got for you coming up. If you have not subscribed to the training calendar, I just recently posted a video on how to subscribe to the training calendar so you know what's coming a little bit earlier than normal. So next week we've got, ooh, why doesn't it have it? September? It's not in there. I missed one. So I'll be updating the calendar today so that you have the latest. So next week we've got commanding your referrals, smart plans, and your KW consumer app. So we got a whole bunch of good stuff for you next week. Well, that's it for now. Have an awesome day, and we will talk soon.